It is time to start putting this thing back together. Finally, the last bushing came out. You see, you got me here. Yeah, it was a bugger. The actual the thrust bearing had literally welded itself to the inside of the tower, the steering tower. So this is what happens when you're running out of space on top of the bushing, hammering out, trying to drive the bearing out. With it, the other side worked just tickety-boo. Drove it right out through, smashed the parts of the bearing, the thrust bearing. This one, not so much. And as you can see, if you can pick this up, I started cutting reliefs into it. You can see there, you can just see very little. There we go. So yeah, what I did was I started cutting reliefs all the way around it with trusty old sawzall and some real high-end blades. So now what we're doing is we're running the new bushings in. So what you do is take one of the old bushings, the one that's in best condition anyway. This one's almost all the way in, just gotta get it down onto that lip there, so that's where the bearing rides. So yeah, you just lay this on there because I don't have the fancy bushing installation tools. Because the Piper Doug, do it the cheap way because I'm Scottish. So then what I do is I hold this over the top of that bushing, and then this poor little hammer turns into the big hammer's bitch. So yeah, hold it on there because that way if you start hitting on this thing will get all bent and twisted out of shape. This way you get a nice big flat surface for that fella to go wellying on this poor little. This is one of these are homemade. This is a homemade hammer. Yeah, just beat a bit of pipe in there. Heat the head up so it can take the weld. That way it doesn't just all crack when it starts cooling off. And yeah, this is the indestructible hammer. Like I said, this is the big guy's bitch. So bang, 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 bang. Run that race down to the other side, and then I'll bring you back for the next part. So, one side's done, all installed-ified. I got the steering rod on there, just the big link rod is still to go on. So that's, because I might have noticed they were upside down when I was driving in the bushings, and then you got to turn them back over. And then that way you can fire in these bushings. That way you're hammering downwards. Easy peasy. So they're all bolted back in. Bushings are all in. That's to go on. But so this one here. So you got the bearing goes on there, and then you have a spacer, which is hardened steel. Goes on top of the bearing, and that's what the bushing will come down to, is on top of this guy. Point the camera out when I'm tapping here. So yeah, so so then this will go back in. But this gadget here, the threads took a little bit of damage, in the old smackification. So I'm gonna have to recut these, so I'll come and bring you back to that part. And there you have it. It's done. Wheels are on. They sit a little bit straighter because the bushings wore on that side and worn on that side, so that's them. Should be, might not be holding this straight, but yeah, so good. All put back together. Just gotta get a new grease nipple on that one, and then that one's filled, but I'm going to fill it like it's squirting out. I packed the bearings. You have to remember to pack brand new bearings because quite often there's nothing in them apart from a little bit of oil to stop them from rusting. And then, yeah, so job's a good one. Oh yeah, thrust bearing, and then there's a little washer, and then the bushing, and then there's a bushing at the top, and then there's a new gasket, a little cork fuzzy thing to stop crap going down inside. And yeah, good job. Oh yeah, future project, paint the cab. Teddy bye.